everybody, time for another video. I'm having another cigar today, so this is the Romeo y Julieta White Churchill. A little bit different for a Cuban cigar. We've got a 55 gauge Robusto. As with most things Romeo this size, they tend to use the word Churchill a lot because obviously the Romeo Churchill's got such a good reputation. They've not really taken off that well. I think the size and the price puts a lot of people off. People looking for the Robusto, the short Churchill's a lot better. Standard 4 7/8 by 50. Obviously this is the slightly heftier 55 gauge. In the past, I'm not the biggest Romeo and Julieta fan you'll ever meet. I don't rate them very highly at all, to be honest. But I'll give this one a try. Hopefully the slightly thicker girth, and we'll give it a little bit more flavour. I find them a little bit bland and a little bit overrated, to be honest. But anyway, we'll give it a try. And after my disaster of last time, we're on the matches this time. So I ain't using this bloody thing. I'll stick with the matches. Still going to stick with my good old trusty Calibri slice. So let's just cap this bad boy off. Pucker. Save that for a cigar mix. Oh. Matches look like they've seen better days, but anyway. First initial taste of it, not that keen. It's got a bit of a bittery sort of taste, relatively earthy, kind of almost a caramelised dirt sort of taste to it. But in the past I have found Romeo and Julieta a little bit light, a bit dusty, and not that much of an interesting smoke, to be honest. It's not bad. The size is nice though. I do quite like the fact that I've got a nice big chunky Cuban cigar in my hand for a change. I mean, the biggest Cuban I've ever smoked is a 52 gauge. I know some of the B hikes that came out, they were 54s and 56s, but I only tried the 52. And again, I wasn't a big fan of those either. I think they came out at about £32.50 for kind of a short Robusto sort of thing. For a Cohiba, it was alright. It was a good cigar, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say no if somebody offered me one, but I wouldn't find myself buying any. £32 for a small little stick like that is a bit extortionate. I could buy myself a full Escondidos for that kind of money. They were nice, but nowhere near as good as all the hype and everybody made them out to be. No, there's actually more flavour coming through now. Slightly aromatic, with a little bit of a sweet, florally, herbally sort of taste to it. But it's still got that dusty, biscuity core of flavour. No, it's not bad. I'm expecting company in a moment, so this video might never actually make it onto YouTube, but we'll see. But I'm going to crack on with this, and then when I come back I've got a couple more things that I want to talk about. Mainly about shoplifters, idiots with lighters, lots of idiots with lighters, and a very stressful day. Okay, so I'll catch back up with you in a bit. The burn's going okay. I mean, it does seem and come across as such a well-made cigar. It's a little bit bumpy, a bit toothy on the vein, but it seems to bulge. I don't know if you can quite see this. It seems to have quite a lot of little bulges in it, as if the binder or some of the filler inside hasn't had the stems fully removed from it. That feels quite hard, like it's a bit of a stem. So construction wise, I'm not that keen, to be honest. But one thing I will say before I go, and probably start a nice big fat argument, I like to stick to the traditional English form of cigar etiquette. So debanded already, so I don't need to make anyone else feel inferior with what they're smoking. It's a little bit better than the other Romeos so far, but I don't know, we'll see. But right, okay, I'll catch back up with you in a bit, and we'll review the first third. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty much finished the first third of this cigar now. The burn's going quite well. We've got a few little bits where it's not quite perfectly straight. Ash is hanging on nicely. It's a beautiful, beautiful white ash almost. A little bits of grey inside. The first third's progressed pretty well. It did have kind of a bitter finish to it, sort of thing. But that's kind of mellowing out a little bit. The slight, subtle, sweet aromatic notes I could taste there sat on the long finish now. There's a little bit of pepper, a little bit of spice coming through, a little bit of leather. But no, it's not a bad cigar, but it's still a Romeo, it's still a bit dusty, it's still a little bit bland. But just been chatting to a few guys on Twitter while I've been smoking this first third. The guys at Fine Tobacco New York City, pretty much similar impression to me to Romeos. He's only tried a couple of the Cubans, and I've tried none of the non-Cuban Romeos, and I find them quite bland. I just don't understand why this is one of the biggest selling Cuban cigars in the UK, and probably in the world, to be honest. Cohiba, Romeo and Julieta, and Monte Cristo have the reputation, but why Romeo and Julieta, I've got no idea. People are just obsessed. Is it the name? Are they big in Cuba? Is it what most people buy when they're on holiday over there? I'm not too sure. I am finding it's burning quite fast. The core at the front of the palate of the dusty, kind of dry, dusty sort of flavour. I like the biscuit aspect of it, but it just reminds me of dry dust. But I'll try and say something positive about it. It does carry a lot more strength than the little petty Coronas and Coronas I've tried in the past. The flavour, the peppers and the spice kind of reminds me of the miniatures a little bit. Somebody's here I need to speak to at the moment, so I'm going to depart. I'll come back and I'll give you the review of the middle section. But it's getting better, but I'm still not a fan. So I'll catch up with you soon. Okay. It took a little bit longer than I thought. Right. Okay. So I'm down to well into the last third, and I really don't like this cigar. I'm going to persist and finish, but it's got very, very bitter. It's a little bit sickly. It's still got, I don't know, still got kind of a creamy biscuity sort of taste, but then it's overlaid with a very, very sick bitter flavour to it. The burn keeps going a little bit funny. It's going extremely stodgy. It's still in there a little bit. I think it's burning inside the wrapper slightly as well. I really do not like this cigar at all. Flavour, there's no complexity, it's just straight, blunt, bland, basically. Not changed my opinion on Romeo and Julieta at all. Sorry to all of those who are die-hard Romeo fans out there, but there's so many better cigars. There's not many worse, but there's so much better quality cigars out there. Even some of the cheap, like Nicaraguan, Honduran bundles are a lot better than this. If you like this kind of light sort of flavour, big hefty cigar, stick with the Santa Cristobal. Go for a Santa Cristobal or Punta. They're absolutely beautiful cigars, but a lot of people overlook them because they don't have the magic name Romeo and Julieta, Cohiba or Monte Cristo. So yep, I'll give you my overall summary of it in a moment, but it ain't going to be very pretty. So yeah, I shall persist. Maybe give it another 5-10 minutes or something. But no, definitely. Not for me. So we're in the dying draws of the cigar, and for some bizarre reason, it's I'm actually enjoying this last part. The bitterness has gone. It's still got that back of your throat, sickly sort of taste to it. Like I don't know. As you can see, it's all going horribly wrong at the end. Got no aspect of a cone anywhere in there at all. It kind of almost looks like somebody's just broken a branch in half. I'd like to put a few mentions out to a couple of people. I'd like to thank everybody so much for for getting involved and signing up and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Big thanks go out to BC Richardson, Mr. Flubber, SS Polv, that's SSPLLV, and also Milverton68. Thank you all very much for signing up, and thanks to everybody who's been watching my videos. I'm glad I've made the transition from vlog form to video form. But now I'm going to give this one more toke, and then I'm done. I did want to have a grumble about a couple of things today. Caught a guy stealing 2 bottles of Japanese whiskey out the shop. That was quite funny. He wasn't going to steal them, he was just messing with me. And good old Nottingham police pretty much just sent him off on his way. He's stolen from us in the past. Well, for some reason none of my colleagues decided to point this out and stop him from coming into the shop. So yeah, he tried to make it off with 2 bottles of Japanese whiskey, which was nice. I've had a complete moron bought a lighter in this morning. He bought it 3 days ago, kind of a Firebird windproof. Decided to try and turn the flame adjuster up higher than it would actually go. Broke the flame adjuster off the bottom, brought it back complaining that the flame blows itself out. And I think had I turned the flame adjuster any higher, it would have leaked out from the bottom valve and undone it. So 90% of idiots should not be allowed to buy lighters, and if they do buy lighters, a nice 50p disposable, or failing that, just a bloody box of matches. But anyway, that's the end of my rant. Hopefully my next video I'll have something nice and positive to say, and I'll smoke something I quite enjoy. But this is going in the ashtray. So thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you all enjoy this video, and I'm sure I'll be back in a couple of days with something a little bit different for you all to watch. Okay, take care.